Hi, Mary Beth. Hi, Chrissy. We're going to wait for some people to join. We're going to be talking about self-care today, which is always a fun topic. Hope you guys are ready for this. I said hi, Chrissy. Hey, Carol. Chrissy, you're going to have to rewind and see that I said hi to you. Super helpful that one of our leadership friends, hi, Kim. I don't know you, but I'm happy to see you in here today. Are you one of our parents? This is kind of exciting. I've never done one of these before. I have all kinds of materials. I have fun things to talk about. Yeah, Chrissy, I know you're slow. So one thing I want to ask you guys since you're just on here, is this backwards to you all? Can you all see this? Is it going to be backwards, or does it say 52 lists for happiness? We got a couple people on here, so we'll go ahead and start. No, so it shows up, just looks good. Awesome. All right, so today, just so everybody knows who I am Amanda, and I am part of New Beginnings Family Services. I am our Richmond recruiter trainer, and one of the things that we are doing with this new wraparound that we're starting is we're going to talk about different topics. And my topic that I've decided to talk about is I'm going to talk about some self-care and a couple different things that we can kind of do with self-care as we go through our day. One thing I think is really hard for all parents, not just foster parents, but all parents in practicing self-care is it's hard to kind of like fit it in. Anybody ever feel like that? That just self-care is like impossible? It's hard to like go to work and be happy all the time, or maybe it's hard to just get away from, I have two phones here. You'll see one's right here and one's right here. So I'm always, how do I get them in the both screen? It's hard to keep up with these guys. It's hard to take in those chats with friends and family, loved ones. How do you really take care of yourself? Anybody ever feel like that? Don't be shy, you guys. Might be nice. I've got on my little Hawaiian lays on here because everybody's always dreaming about a beach vacation, but we really need to be mindful of what we're doing every day and take those little steps to take care of ourselves. So that's kind of what I want to talk about here. You guys out there? Anybody? Anybody? All right, well, I'll go ahead and get started with some of my things. So if anybody has any questions out there, I'm going to start off doing my personal favorite self-care practice. I like, it's kind of weird to do this like out there forever on screen and whatnot, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do it like this, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. I like doing mud masks, and it's really simple, just something you can kind of do by yourself, do with some friends. Me and my friends like to get together and do this, but just a nice little something that you can do. So I'm wetting my face down. I will say, Chrissy wanted me to catch a chicken. I have chickens. They're really fun. And I might, if y'all act right, catch a chicken in a Facebook Live video someday. Not the first one. I thought that might be setting the bar a little too high. But one of the things in taking care of yourself, you know, you of course need to take care of not only your body, but this helps. Kind of get you away from all the things, all the stressors. This stuff feels really nice too. Anybody got a favorite mask they like to use? I'm using my Dead Sea mud mask right here. Yeah. Got this from my Ipsy bag. This is really hard to do in a camera. So this is one of the things I like to do for myself. I do pride myself on having pretty decent skin. And one of the reasons that I think I do is that, hey, Alan. Oh, you got to scroll this thing. I didn't know that you had to scroll, you guys. That's great. What's up, Alan? How do you take care of yourself? I'm glad we got a guy in here, you guys. Yay. I think this is the first time we've had a fella in here. Mary Beth likes to spend time with her grandbaby. Anybody that knows Mary Beth knows that she is all about that grandbaby, and she is the cutest little pie ever was. Kim, personal boundaries for me, I have to say I've never been a good one with personal boundaries. I am an open book. And I think that's one of the things that makes it pretty easy for me to be who I am, but that is something that I'm working on. And I think that that's important for self-care and working on self-care, because I'm not good at self-boundaries or personal boundaries. I'm the type of person that I can get into like a cab one time, and this guy's just telling me all about his life, and I'm trying to like give him, you know, advice and like resources and stuff like that. So it's one of those things that like I can't always separate myself from. He was having a really hard time with some domestic situations in his life, and I mean, this was here in Richmond. Did I mention we're here in Richmond, Kentucky, this agency that I work for? But you know, that's one thing that I really struggle with. Yep, I got it on my little hair thingy. But that's one thing that I am really trying to work on is personal boundaries, especially with my work life. I find that when I go to any kind of place, maybe because I am so passionate about my work in foster care, that I end up talking a lot about what I do, probably to nauseam. When I spend time with my friends, which that's a really good way to take care of yourself, is spending time with friends and family, if you like your family. I love my family, but some people don't. That's okay. This is weird. But oh, there it is. That when you do, you know, it's hard to not take that stuff home. Oh, there it is. Yeah. So when you're doing that kind of stuff, it's hard, you know, to know when to stop. I end up talking about, you know, we have almost 10,000 kids in care right now. So how do you not talk about that stuff? And that's something I really struggle with. I do better with some of the other things like, ooh, that's a good, the Yoneq. I've heard of that brand. I love the charcoal masks. The just trying to not focus so much on work. And it's hard for some of the stuff that we do here, because, you know, we do have 10,000 kids almost in care right now. So I find that balance to be hard, because how do I turn it off? Or how do I turn off that I know, you know, all this factual information about like child sex abuse, or like I found myself talking about it at weddings and funerals, and when I'm out having a girls' night and stuff like that, and it just seems like something always comes up. Hey, Heather. Miss you, lady. It's been a long time since I've seen you. Hey, Ashley. So it's really hard for me to set those personal boundaries. I also apologize usually because I don't have many. So that's something I'm working on, Kim. The Younique charcoal mask. Hey, Marilyn, will you send me a link for that on here? Because that sounds like something right up my alley. Somebody had one that was like an orange one, or was that somebody's name? This is hard for me to keep up. I'm too ADHD, you guys. Send me some information on how to do that. But how's my mask looking? It's really hard to put this on in front of people. Like, not because people are watching and all the internet forever and ever is doing this, but just because I can't see. So this is my first part. Hey, Betty, I see you on here. Are you still on here? Hey, girl. Tell those kids I love them. I miss them so much. I gotta get my forehead. This is a really important part of your face mask. Did you guys know this? This little T-zone. I don't know why it's called a T-zone, but it is. That's where I get all my pimples. I apparently didn't have first acne, but now I have, you guys don't make fun of me, but I have like the second puberty now apparently, but I really think maybe it's obese acne. Like I need to go to the doctor and the doctor's like, man, you need to lose some weight. And I'm like, hey, I know, thanks for bringing it up again, but I'll just rely on my little, you know, face masks. So that's what I think. Hey, Misty. You mean crazy good, right? So once I get on here, get this face mask going good. It's hard to see. Is this like, can you guys see me okay? Is this on thick enough? Woo. Hey, there it is. There it is. Yeah. All righty. Yeah, isn't it like a crazy thing, Marilyn? Like, I never had like zits. I can remember having like 3 or 4 as a teenager, and my best friend, she had acne as a teen. And I'm like, oh, that looks terrible. What are you supposed to do? I mean, like I had the gap in my teeth and stuff like that, so I feel like we were like both, you know, insecure about things or whatever. But she had like to take that medicine and stuff. And hey, there's that mask. But you know, having like no acne, and then all of a sudden I turned 30 and it's like, boom, pimples. What am I supposed to do? But I think it really has to do with stress. I find that once, you know, you got bills to pay and those student loans that you got to pay and, you know, adulting things to do, it kind of gets a little crazier out there. Oh, look at y'all laughing. Somebody's mad at me. Why is somebody mad at me? Don't be mad at me. Somebody gave me an angry face. Maybe on them. All right, so I got my mask on pretty good. I'd like to get a little bit more on this side, but I haven't figured out how to do that side of my face. So that's what I got there. So some other self-care practices. What are you guys doing for self-care? This is my favorite one. I'm going to go to my second favorite one here in a few minutes. Ooh. Anybody ever use one of those like lipsticks that's not a lipstick, but then it's got like this little charcoal thing in there? It's almost like a, I meant to bring it and I forgot it. It's pretty cool. You guys know what I'm talking about? Elf has one. And anybody know? Oh, I got some messages. Garden. Ooh, Ashley likes to garden. That's pretty cool. I like to buy plants. That's what my favorite thing is. I like to buy plants and then set them outside and tell other people where to plant them. Yeah, that's pretty cool. What do you like to garden, Ashley? Are you a flower or a ooh, Ooh, Miss Carol likes planners. I've seen your planners. They're pretty cool. Can you post a link up for your planners? Chrissy likes to read. That's awesome. Ashley, do you like to plant flowers or do you like to plant vegetables? Nice. Heather, that chalking stuff, you should really post some of that up in the comments if you have pictures of that, because that's pretty cool. Heather's been sharing with me some of her chalking that she's been doing. Finding a hobby that you enjoy, guys, is so important, especially when you're parenting or caregiving of any sort. You really need to find stuff that you can do to take, some time for yourself. It's so important. Something that you enjoy, you can be creative with. I'm with Chrissy. I read a lot. What is this happy planner? Where do you find it, Miss Carol? Ashley was sharing hers with me the other day, and I just loved it. I really want one. I currently have 4 planners because I like things to have different places, I guess. Hey, Missy, you're my girl. Shopping is awesome. What's up, Jen? You don't like you want to come say hi to everybody? Our New Beginnings Family Services Facebook Live page.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know if everybody's had a chance to meet Jen.
Hi.
The camera's right there. You'll have to come over here. We've got a new therapist here in our Richmond office, Jen.
Hello, everybody.
You can hear her, but you can't see her yet. There's Jen.
Hi.
You'll have to come in more.
I'm stuck.
Come on. This is
Hi.
Jen, everybody. We're talking about self-care.
Yes.
Do you want to share a self-care strategy you have?
Yes. I read a positive quote before I go to sleep at night, so I keep my mind positive when I'm trying to fall asleep.
That's really cool. That's really cool.
That's it.
Hey, Terry, what's up? Chrissy said hi to Jen. Terry, our second male audience member. That's awesome. Terry, what do you like to do for self-care practices? Oh, Kylie said hi. Hi, Kylie.
Hi, Kylie. That's so cute.
See ya. One thing that I like to do, kind of like intermediate self-care, I like to have a lot of manipulatives. If you guys ever see my office space, I am all about having things that I could, all right, you guys, Jen's gone. It's just me. You gotta love me. But I like having, just kidding, you can love Jen too. I like having things I can play with. This is something that keeps my mind going through the day. Keeps me focused on my next task. Ooh, so there's one that we hadn't gotten to. Terry likes weight training and walking. Exercise is definitely something you need to do for self-care. Keep your mind right. Anybody do any meditation or prayer? That's a big one for self-care. Get your mind right. How come nobody said just like sitting out and vegging? Nobody likes doing that? Because I do. I like binge watching TV. It's pretty cool. I watched Unsolved, the case of the Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac yesterday. It's a pretty good one. Nobody's gotten a chance to watch it yet. I believe it's on Netflix. Again, if you're just joining us, my name is Amanda. I am the Richmond, Kentucky recruiter trainer for New Beginnings Family Services. Miss Carol's there. Miss Carol, what do you like to watch? If anybody has any questions about foster parenting or anything like that, I'll be happy to answer any of those. But also just general self-care questions, I'll do my best. Not the personal boundaries one, though, because I'm not good at that. Does anybody do any of those meal preps. I know that's kind of dieting, but I do have some friends that are really into putting their foods out on Sunday and cooking them, and that's part of like relaxing their mind and, you know, getting into that. Really, Kim, you stay home in your PJs some days? I can't see that. That's really hard for me to see. I just can't, I can't imagine it though. It's really fun though to just do that. Hey, Sam. Another thing that I really like to do for self-care, I like journaling. This is one of my favorite journals right now, 52 Lists for Happiness. It has a lot of kind of prompts that you can do. My favorite one, this one has kind of like a list that you can do. Ooh. You'd be surprised. I'm into it. You don't even know. You don't know what I'm into, Miss Carol. The 52 list, this is one that I really recommend for people that are practicing self-care or kind of new to self-care. The 52 list, there it is. Boop, 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 boop. You can find it on Amazon. I think that's where I got it. But it goes through and it just has like ways to kind of get back to list the best opportunities that others have given you through your life. That's what I haven't done yet. And it just kind of like gets you to a place of thinking about different things that you can do that'll make you happy. Here's list 25, the list that lists the ways that you enjoy investing in your mind, body, and soul. That's right up the self-care way, the thinking that we're doing. Ooh, there we go, Misty. Yeah, you guys do love the meal order kits. I've seen your partner at Kroger getting those, and he tried to get me to get one. I was like, yeah, I don't know about that. I wouldn't be able to eat it all, though. That was my thing. So what about wine? From French Lick, Indiana, a glass a day is supposed to be good for your heart. It absolutely is. Some tips for having kids feel better on the first day in a new foster home. That's a great question, Kim. So a lot of times I'm glad you brought that up too, because we're talking about our self-care. We need to also think about kiddos and when they're coming into our homes. One thing that kind of maybe will be a stressful thing if you are a foster parent is when you take in some kids and they're coming into your home. It can be very stressful. But one thing that you might want to think about when you have your kiddos come in, yeah, you do need that one, Heather. You can get her on Amazon. Try not to overdo it. You know, these kiddos have been through a lot. Even if they've been in care for a while and they're just coming from another home, it's still scary. Just try to keep it as relaxed as possible. I know a lot of folks, that's one question that I always ask when I'm a trainer, so I go through helping folks prepare for when they become foster parents. But one thing you don't want to do is overdo it. So try to plan some restful activities. Maybe just a fun day at home, like watching some movies, depending on the weather. Don't try to go out into the world maybe yet, unless you really have to. If you have a partner, it might be a really good idea to give them a list of things that they could maybe go and do if your kiddos come in without, you know, proper clothes or something like that. But maybe have just like a good bonding day where you could have movies, bake cookies, something everybody can do together. Also, just keep it real chill. You know, these kids are scared, you're nervous. Make sure that you're doing, oh wow, there's lots of things happening on the screen. Make sure that you're doing something that'll promote bonding. Don't hover. It's easier to give a list for me of things not to do, but try to keep it as relaxed as possible. Maybe even doing things like this, you know, do a mud mask if you have a teen girl. Make sure, depending on your age range, you know, you're pointing out the places like the bathroom. You know, you might go through your first house tour, but if you've been in about 4 or 5 homes, which is the average for most of our kids in care, the bathroom might have been in this place the first time, but then in this place that other time. Yes. Yes, Misty, I'm glad you mentioned that too. A lot of people want to come and see you. You'll probably have staff coming, like specifically with our agency. We try to give you, I think it's a couple days to settle, but you don't want a bunch of people coming in from everywhere confusing the kid. Try to go through your routine of settling in, what we do as a family. Don't force the kids to eat either. Some kids are too nervous to eat. You know, set out the food in a general area. Some kids might feel a little pressured to eat. That's a big one too. They'll eat when they want to, promise, just like anybody else. I know my mama's big one on, well, are you hungry? Do you want some more? You don't have to force them. They'll eat when they want to. Maybe just leave the food out on a nice little plate, you know, like when you go to your friend's mom's house and they bake cookies or something like that. Just leave it out like that. Game nights are fun. That's definitely a good idea for both self-care and when you get a new placement. How about some self-care for kids? Anybody do self-care with their kids? I think one of you guys do. I think I've seen pictures of a couple of you guys. I think Heather and Misty both do mani-pedis with their kiddos. That's a pretty fun thing. That's also one of the reasons why I like my squishies. These get me through my day. Ooh. We just had one of our big group bonding days for all of our staff with New Beginnings. Air quotes. I was just watching an episode of Blackish before I came in today, and they were talking about air quotes. I like my TV. But at our big meeting, we actually got this nice list. It's like a worksheet for self-care. I can share this with you guys later. Can you see it all right? Ooh. I was going to lift one of these up, but luckily I had one. You do dance parties, Misty? I am so upset that I've never been invited to a dance party. Ugh. Super sad. I'm going to put a Maddie face. So the thing that I like most about this mud mask is that it sets pretty well. It's still kind of muddy. See? Whoop. Heather says that her little really likes crafting. Are you going to show us your crafting? Come on, you need to be proud of your self-care, Heather. Miss Sassy Pants. Miss Sassy Pants is right. I missed Miss Sassy Pants last night. So maybe something that we can do with our kiddos for self-care. I brought some stuff for the kiddos because I love doing stuff with the kiddos. Anybody ever done some of these? These might be a fun little squishies with the kiddos. This is a good activity for self-care or first day of placement. These are called Orbeez usually. They're like this. Boom, 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 boom. Ooh, ah. Yeah, the kids really do like dancing. Dancing's another good way to do self-care. I have a couple friends that they actually enjoy doing that ballroom dancing. Well, that's so fun. Heather, send me a picture in my messages, and then I'll share it on here later so everybody can see this chalking. This chalking thing that Heather's doing is so incredible, and she's really good at it, y'all. She is. I'm really proud of her, too, because I know this lady works really hard, and she works really great with her youth, and I'm so proud of her for practicing self-care. What was the note before? I forgot what I asked. Whoopsies. You've never done one of these? So it might take a little bit of time. I'm going to improvise here because I'm still going to need mud to take off, or water to take off my mud. So these are the Orbeez. The cool thing about these, you can also do like a pedicure with them. These are a little old, so I don't know if they'll grow, but they basically grow. And kids really like them. It's kind of like a science experiment too. Same idea as like sea monkeys. So that's exciting. Whoop, whoop. What's this, Ashley Nicole? I don't know, Christy Carey. Hi, Christy Carey. I like your name. Not too often do you see two Christy and Carey, like two first name names for a person's name. Usually you see names like Jim Tom or Jim Bob. I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see this, but you just put them in water. See it? And they're going to grow. We have about 30 minutes left on here, but they'll grow. And then they're like kind of squishy, slimy. Kids really dig them. Oh, you're Ashley's mom. Hi, Ashley's mom. We really like Ashley. She's fun. And I hear you have a darling grandson, I believe. He's cute. I saw some of his pictures. We're talking about self-care, Christy. Do you have any self-care practices that you would like to share? Anything that you do? Your daughter said she really enjoys gardening. She must get that from somewhere because green thumbs do not just happen by themselves, as I've learned. Yes, the Orbeez really do feel cool. I've seen some people that do pedicures with them. I've got my mud mask on. I don't usually look like this, just so you know. Hey, Miss Sheila. When are you going to come see me, Sheila? I'm talking to you right now. You're going to have to come give me some pointers on how to do these Facebook Live videos because I know you're always doing them. Frying up that chicken. I bet we're talking about self-care right now. And I bet I have a guess on how you practice self-care. I bet yours is cooking. But we've been making stuff and doing stuff. We're also answering any questions about foster care. Aww. It does usually run in families if you enjoy gardening, for sure. Do you like to pick up plants from other folks? Like my mom's always coming in my house and she's like, oh, let me get a start of this. Let me get a start of that. And she'll just break off the root. Hey, Claire. I'm glad you think I'm funny. How do you practice self-care, Claire? I plan on putting like some rollers in my hair, but I've been a little sick today and I've been in bed all day. So I was going to go it to the max, but you know, go big or go home. I didn't get to. And just so everybody knows, we are talking about self-care. I have my lays on because I'm dreaming of that big self-care when you get to go to the beach. I'm thinking about going to the beach. I don't know if I'll really get to go to the beach, but I can dream, right? Dream a little dream. Hey, Donna. Claire, you're going to have to tell me how you do self-care. I want to know. Donna, how do you practice self-care? Because we get so stressed that we don't often take time for ourselves. And I'll tell you what, every mama bear out there that I know, y'all need self-care. Y'all need self-care more than anybody else. And I'll tell you why. Because it seems like men are better at self-care. It's like they instinctively, I guess, know how to do it. They know how to separate themselves from the kids, or they know how to take a little bit more time for themselves. You know, they have the cars, or when this season starts, lawn mowing. They're like, oh, honey, I gotta go mow the lawn. But women have all these other Hey, mommy and daddy dates, yes. Yes. But men are better at it than women. Women just, I think it's said that women use almost 10% more of their brains and their stress due to just the women's chore list. You know, you got to make these lists for the kids and lists for your husband, things that you need to do. And I believe that. Donna, I'm right there with you. I got to work too. But girl, we need to work on that. I'm telling you, get one of these. Get one of these books to help you. 52 List of Happiness. That's my thing. A journal. But you got to do something other than go to work. Heather says using mommy and daddy dates and using respite. Respite is a very, very important part of fostering. I know not a lot of people can necessarily foster, you know, taking a child full time, even though we have almost 10,000 kids in the foster care system in Kentucky right now. But respite is another really great way to support our foster parents. It's like a licensed babysitter, and they know all the different things about the trauma the kids may have experienced. They know all the different techniques to use with the kiddos, and it really helps support our parents and really helps support the kids. Ha, Misty, yeah, your husband is a pro at self-care, I bet. So if you're ever interested in how you can support foster families and promote self-care with our foster families, you might think about maybe providing some respite, and I can definitely help you out with that. You can just link on below. Misty, you're killing me tonight. Misty says she journals behavior logs. That's the same. No, that's not the same, Misty. It's not. I'll get you. I'll get you. I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna glitter bomb you. I had a feeling who liked that comment and thought it was funny. So yeah, no comment on that one. No comment. That was really funny. Let's see. What did you say? Start with looking at self in mirror, and you believe you look at yourself in the mirror, and we get out of the mirror real quick, and we have to learn to love ourselves. Oh, that's really nice. I like that you get quiet time, Sheila. I'm surprised that you didn't say cooking as much as you cook, girl. You are always, y'all need to see Sheila's live videos. She's so much better at them than I am, but she's always cooking something up, y'all, and it is crazy good what she's cooking. But the really important thing that I wanted to talk to y'all about with self-care is we need to do it, y'all, as much as we can. If it's driving down the road and you sing that favorite little song or say that sweet little prayer or quote to yourselves to help yourself out, get through the day. It's important. If it's going home and dancing like Misty's is doing and dancing with the kids. If it's like Heather was saying, she goes and does her chalking, which you need to see this if you haven't seen it. I couldn't do it. I paint, but I don't paint. Oh, look, this is a nice look for me, right? Little Two-Face going on. Y'all remember Two-Face from Batman? The kids would know what I'm talking about. Maybe. But it's something we really need to focus on. Anybody have any extreme hobbies? Like skydiving? That'd be a fun one. And it's not for me. Don't even start. But this stuff is so important, y'all. And it helps in every day. It's going to make you happier in the long run if you take better care of yourself. And it's hard to do every day. Like, is there something you feel like is really getting in the way of your self-care? Yeah, see? Talking to friends, making new friends is definitely a good way. This is real cute, Amanda. You should do this all the time. Is that how I'm supposed to talk to myself, Sheila? You know, even like Sheila's saying, wake up, look yourself in the mirror, and be like, hey, I love you. Let's do this today. You're going to make it. Ain't nothing broke me yet, right? I've never left a face mask on this long. It's coming off pretty easy, though. It's that T-zone. Ah, look at how nice my skin looks now. Ooh. So again, self-care is so important. I'm going to go through a checklist here in a minute. Y'all, I'm going to, look, I would have walked up. Oh, there's one. Gotta get my giblets there. I don't think that's what giblets really are. But I'm going to go through a checklist for those of y'all that are still watching. To kind of do a self-care. Are y'all laughing at me again? That's okay. I like to laugh at me too. This is hard. Hey! Do a check to see how you're doing with your self-care. It's going to have to be like that. All right. So, here are my little Orbeez I told you we were making. This can be a fun one to do with the kids. See how they've grown? Thanks, Misty. I love you too. See if I can find it real quick. So this little checklist, if I can find it, here's a little self-care checkup. So you can do this on your own, no judgments, answer with yourself. How often do you eat breakfast? Most days, once a week, once or twice a week, every month or so, or what's breakfast? When was the last time you had a really good laugh? Sometime in the last couple of days, last week, last month, or 1972. How often do you spend social time with a friend or friends? You got to have more than one for this one, so just kidding. How frequently do you connect with other peers? Most days, once or twice a week, every so often, rarely. How often do you watch a movie or a TV show that you want to see? So it's not just watching something that your kids may want you to watch or something that your partner wants you to watch, but something that you actually want to watch. When was the last time that you said no to something that you really didn't want to do? Or you felt that you really weren't able to do? This morning, last week, last month, it's never occurred to me. When was the last time you let someone take care of you? And this one's really important too. You have to be open to that kind of stuff. You know, that's hard for some people. Yesterday, last week, sometime this year, 1973. How often do you sleep enough to feel rested during the day? That's a hard one for moms, right? Most nights, once or twice a week, every month or so, too tired to remember. When was the last time that you read something just for fun? I know reading's not for everybody, but reading is something that maybe you could try to do. You can insert whatever it is that is your hobby there too. Today, last week, last month, 3rd grade. How often do you meditate or pray? Most days. Most days, once or twice a week, every month or so, rarely. And how often do you take time to be intimate with your partner? It's a big part of it too, y'all. Most days, once or twice a week, every month or so, or what is this intimacy you're talking about? How frequently do you exercise or engage in physical activity you enjoy? Activity that you enjoy. Most days, once or twice a week, every month or so. And does house cleaning count? So if you answered a lot of these questions with the today or last week, you're doing pretty good on your self-care. Woohoo. Yeah, right, Misty. I'm going to come back and check your answers. Although you do a lot. Maybe. I don't know. I'm iffy on that. I'll give you my rock eyebrow. If you were kind of in the mid-range of last week, last month kind of areas, you could work on some things. If you are in the every month or so, or that 1972-73 range, you're probably going to need to work on your self-care. Look at that pimple, y'all. It's just popping out right there. So what can we do? We've talked a lot about some different self-care strategies. I've shown you some of my favorite ones. We're always planning for, hey, Connie. We're talking about some self-care, Connie. We could always plan for that beach getaway vacation, but a lot of times that's dreaming, and it's not as easily attainable as stuff we could actually do every day. So instead, what we can do is we can start making our plan. Like I said earlier, we have this now super wet guide of this stuff, right? Woo, 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 woo. And it kind of breaks down some things, but also you can make your own self-care plan, right? You can sit down tonight, tomorrow, in the shower, whatever time that you may have. Do it on your phone, you know, go through. I'm sure everybody has some equivalent of notes on their phone. List it out. Once a day, I'm going to do this. Mine is at 3 o'clock when I get grumpy. I go across the street and I get my coffee. It actually makes me happy. It makes me take a little time for me. That's what I do. Once a week, I try to do this. I'm not good at the once a week thing. Once a week, I do try to talk to some of my friends on the phone that I don't get to see all the time. Hey, Raylyn. Hey, Connie, you do a good one. Connie goes to water aerobics once a week. That's an awesome one. Kudos to you, lady. Missy says she gets those babies in bed early, and she takes her kids to respite. Y'all, I can't tell you how important respite is to our families. If you are a foster parent, take the respite. Nobody is judging. We love you. And then once a month, take your time and do this, whatever it's going to be. If it's going to be a date with your partner, if it's going to be, you know, a date with your favorite cousin or your sister, to, hey, you meditate? Me too. We still need to go on our sushi date, you know. Every day, that is what Raylyn's doing. She's meditating every day. I'm not as good at meditating every day, but I go through phases where I'm really good for about a week, and then that next week I fall off and I try to read every morning. But kudos to you, lady. When you're doing your plan and you're making your plan, remember, you're not making it for anybody else's benefit. It doesn't have to be, my thing doesn't have to be your thing. Your thing doesn't have to be to impress anybody else. If you're doing something and it's working for you, keep on going. If you try something and it's not working for you, move on to the next thing. What works today doesn't mean it's going to work next week. It just matters that it's working for you and it's working in that moment, and you got to keep on making it work. It might be, remember when we were kids and we were in the 5th grade and they told you can try band or you can try choir, chorus, whatever they called it at your school? Do that. And then when you're done with that, hey, sorry, I want to go try hip-hop dance lessons. Try ballet. You can do ballet as an adult. You can do hip-hop classes, dance classes as an adult. It doesn't matter what it is. Just do it, and do it for you. And remember that you are doing it for you. And you're not only doing it for you, but you're also doing it for everybody else's sanity too, because it's hard out there, y'all. It's really hard. So remember to take care of yourselves. Remember, hey Teresa, glad you joined. Remember that you gotta get out there and you gotta do some things for yourself, because at the end of it all, it's not gonna be how hard you worked or if you made this deadline. It's gonna be about all the experiences you packed in and how much you got out of it and that you did it well. So do those things for yourself. Uh-oh, somebody commented after I said that. Foster parent dance classes. Let's do it. Let's do it, Raylyn. You can teach them. I'll record them. Or I'll provide the music. I'm really good at music. I can do that. All right, Connie's in. We're going to do dance classes. Hey, and we were talking about dancing earlier. So that might be super cool. And Connie can sing. What's up, Teresa? How do you take care of yourself? Teresa is a foster parent extraordinaire, in case y'all didn't know. She's got about a bazillion children. At least 27 bazillion. Teresa, how do you take care of yourself? And she also works for a foster care agency, so she doubles up on the working and the parenting and the fostering. So hopefully she is an expert on how to take care of herself. I mean, you could sing for us, Connie. You can do more than one thing. You're very talented at other things. And you also, as part of your self-care, I know, you draw, and you're an excellent drawer. No, that's not the right word. It's artist. So I think that's pretty much going to wrap me up for tonight, y'all. Hey, another important part of self-care, snacks. I have lots of snacks in my desk, in case you guys wondering. I'm not going to show you where all of them are, because then you'll come take them. It looks like somebody got my Reese's. Where are my Reese's? Just kidding, I found them. Teresa likes Netflix. That's awesome. Teresa is awesome. Every quarter? Girl, you better get off that quarter stuff. We need it all the time. All the time. Low carb? What's low carb? I'm going to throw away that stuff. What's low carb? Is this low carb? Connie, is this low carb that you're talking about? We can get rid of that. I'm switching them. You'll never find them, Raylan. Actually, they'll probably be gone by the next time I see you, because you don't stop by no more. I believe so, ma'am. I believe so. I am not the keeper of that stuff, but I think so. All right, y'all. Thank you for joining. I hope you have a fantastic night. Now that we've made my pimple really show up. I hope that you've enjoyed this. I've never done an online face mask before. Yeah, right, whatever. But please take care of yourselves. If you have any questions about foster care or any of the such, respite, a couple of the things we talked about in here, how to become a foster parent, how to become a respite parent, provider, any of that stuff, New Beginnings Family Services, please feel free to comment or send us a message. Oh, thank you. How to get a beach getaway. Hey, hey, hey. If you want to take anybody on a beach getaway, this go right here. I'm ready for it. How do I get that done, Donna? Do I just put it in there? I love you guys. Have a great night.